Welcome to Outside Views. Today we are taking a little dive into the political system of Algeria. What is there in the year 2025? A country with a complex political history shaped by its struggle for independence, decades of military influence, and ongoing calls for democratic reform. But where does Algeria stand politically today, and how has its system evolved amid regional and global changes? Algeria is officially a presidential republic. The president of Algeria serves as the head of state, the head of government, and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. In 2025, the president holds significant executive powers, including appointing the prime minister, setting national police, and overseeing the military. The current political framework is based on the constitution, which has been amended several times to redefine the balance of power between the presidency, the government, and the parliament. The Algerian parliament, known as the People's National Assembly, is a bicameral institution consisting of two chambers. The lower house, the National People's Assembly, has 407 members who are elected through a mixed electoral system. The upper house, the Council of the Nation, has 144 members, with one-third appointed by the president and the rest indirectly elected. Despite the existence of a legislative body, the parliament's power remains limited as the president holds the final say in most political matters. Elections in Algeria have historically been criticized for a lack of transparency and fairness. Although opposition parties exist, the political landscape is dominated by the National Liberation Front, or FLN, and its allied parties. Since the 2019 mass protests known as the Iraq movement, there have been efforts to introduce political reforms, but many critics argue that real change has been slow and superficial. By 2025, opposition parties continue to face restrictions with limited access to media and significant legal and administrative barriers. And one of the key features of Algeria's political system is the strong role of the military. The Algerian army has played a central role in politics since the country's independence in 1962. And even though Algeria presents itself as a civilian-led government, the military remains a dominant force behind the scenes, influencing key decisions on national security, foreign policy, and internal stability. While some reforms have attempted to reduce the military's influence, it still plays a crucial role in shaping Algeria's political landscape. The judiciary in Algeria is constitutionally independent, but in practice it faces challenges. Judicial tensions and decisions are often influenced by political considerations, and activists, journalists, and opposition figures have been prosecuted under broad legal provisions that criminalize dissent. By 2025, human rights organizations continue to raise concerns about press freedom, political arrests, and restrictions on civil liberties. However, the government argues that such measures are necessary to maintain national stability and prevent foreign interference. One of the most significant political issues in Algeria in 2025 is the state of civil society. The Iraq movement, which began in 2019, called for an end to corruption, military influence in politics, and greater democratic reforms and freedoms. And while the movement succeeded in bringing about some changes, including the resignation of longtime President Abdelaziz Bouteflika, many activists believe that their demands have not been fully met. The government has introduced new laws regulating protests and NGOs, making it harder for opposition movements to mobilize. Algeria's political system is also shaped by its foreign policy and regional role. The country remains an influential player in North Africa and the Sahel region, balancing relations with major powers like France, China, Russia, and the United States. As a leading member of OPEC, Algeria's economy is heavily dependent on oil and gas exports, and fluctuations in energy prices directly impact the country's political stability. Relations with neighboring Morocco remain tense due to the long-standing dispute over Western Sahara, and border security remains a key concern. Economically, Algeria faces challenges that have political implications. Despite being rich in natural resources, the country struggles with high unemployment, inflation, and a lack of economic diversification. Government subsidies and public spending have traditionally been used to maintain social stability, but by 2025, there are increasing calls for structural reforms to reduce dependence on oil and gas revenues. Political opposition argues that economic mismanagement and corruption have hindered the country's development, while the government insists that reforms are underway to improve investment and job creation. Looking ahead, Algeria's political system in 2025 remains a hybrid of authoritarian control with limited democratic elements. While elections take place and institutions exist, real power remains concentrated in the presidency and the military. Calls for reform persist, but the government has shown little willingness to loosen its grip on power. And the question remains whether internal and external pressures will force significant political change, or whether the current system will continue to dominate for the foreseeable future. And that's our little dive into Algeria's political system in 2025. And if you found this analysis insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. So thank you for watching Outside Views, and I'll see you in the next video.